Hello and welcome back to the Bakers Dozen Podcast. Oh my, I already messed up. Do we get to take three? Do we
I
get to
lo-
take three? Do we just
we
will
could,
take
we
one out
could,
of the system? No. This is
you want to
good.
keep it? You want to
We're
keep it?
keeping it.
All right.
He set us up to the wrong scene getting into this,
I
and
did
that
not.
that won't make it. See,
That
I have to
might.
put this out there because that's not gonna make it in. But me stumbling over my words on my first take is gonna make it in. So
The
I have to
the
I have to make
patrons will. The patrons get it. The patrons get the full raw audio file. They get
They'll see.
everything.
They'll
So
see.
they'll see that nothing's perfect here. But no, please continue. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying welcome back to the Bakers Dozen Podcast, your favorite podcast hosted by YungD0nut and DrewNG. We are currently on episode 11, and if you understand the world of cooking and what a baker's dozen is, that's 13. Means we're getting
For a
pretty
minute, I
close.
was like, no, you just said 11.
No, we're getting pretty close to the end of season 1.
We
How
are.
you doing?
Two
How you
more.
doing?
Two more babies coming through. Two more nice little Timbits to wrap up our dozen or bakers dozen.
Can I share a story? Because you mentioned Timbits, and
You
that's
have to.
okay. So for the viewers who have not graciously gone past the borders about central New York, there's a place called Tim Hortons. It's like Canadian Dunkin' Donuts, but it's like awesome. So we went to school out in Western New York, and when I was like younger, my folks would be like, "Oh, we'll send you like a little Tim Hortons gift card,"
Aw.
which was really sweet. And I was like, "Guys, I have like a meal plan. I have to like go do that money," and they just like kept sending them. So I graduated. I leave Western New York. I have about $80 in Tim Hortons gift cards.
You didn't tell me.
I have
We were
about
just
$80 of Tim Hortons gift cards now. I went to Buffalo for the first time
okay.
since I graduated to go to the wedding I talked about. I forgot
Oh.
I took them out of my wallet. I forgot 'em.
No,
So I
bro.
got like Tim Hortons for breakfast every day I was there, and I couldn't use my gift cards for it. They're just sitting mocking me at home.
Have
So
you ever
I took them out of my wallet. Why do I need 4 Tim Hortons gift cards when I live nowhere near one?
I mean, that's a valid point. Have you ever heard that term, you fumbled the bag?
I
That
fumbled
is
the bag.
that is the bag being straight up intercepted and then fucking 40-yard
Yeah.
return.
I
That
Mark
was
Sanchez butt fumbled it, you know?
Mark Sanchez butt fumble. We got any sport ball fans out in this bitch?
Shout out to Jake. Jake's a Jets fan.
Let's go. What up, Jake? But today is still a very special episode, not because it's the return, it's the start of 2022. We do have 2 episodes left in the Baker's dozen, but
We're making moves.
we're making some moves here. Not because you can find us on Spotify still exclusively only through Spotify as one of the best non-melee based podcasts on Spotify. Or subscribing to the Patreon at patreon.com/the Baker's Dozen. But also, we got a motherfucking sponsor for today's episode. And that sponsor is coming at you fresh from the homies down at a SPIF Space. If you don't know them, you never heard of them, prepare to fucking learn about them. They are the top tier, high quality, high fashion gaming. I said fashion already, but designers and just personnel that are killing the game with some of the nicest clothing. You see this? You see
I saw
this?
that shirt on there too.
You
I was
see
looking
this shirt?
around.
This shirt, soft as hell. I don't have another shirt on under this because normally I wear sweaters under all my shirts in the form of body hair. So this resting against my supple chest feels incredible. I have a donut tee in the back. You've seen me wear it on a past episode, and I have the turtleneck from I want to say Attack on Titan. Again, top qual goods, top qual performance. You want to be a good gamer, you got to dress like a not gross gamer. I guess I want to say. And this starts with SPIF Space. You want to get yourself some beautiful, and I can't, Drew, what's the word I just used there? I want to say beautiful
Dan.
clothing and get your merch game up. You're going to need to head on over to spiff.space. Got a lot of amazing clothing, as I've said a million times now, a lot of great merchandise, and you can stock up on your own today and exclusively through Baker's Dozen listeners, y'all get an exclusive promo code. Drew, what's that promo code?
The Baker's Dozen.
Just Baker's Dozen. Just
Baker's
Baker's
Dozen.
Dozen. BAKERSDOZEN at checkout. Get 10%, not one, not two, not 13, but 10% off any order from the website. You can get the snapbacks. You can get the Oni bomber jackets. You can get a freaking face mask, bruh. 10% off your whole order. Code Baker's Dozen at checkout. Use it and let them know who sent you. Shout outs to the gods that, they've been supporting us since day one. And now we're all here to get together, support each other. So this episode, and probably episodes to come down the future now, I guess, just sponsored by SPIF. So big shout outs to the homies there. Wanted to get that out bright and early because I thought that was dope.
That's cool. Yeah, you had reached out and you're like, hey, we got a code. And it's like we have it like that.
We got it like
We
that. We
have
got a
it like
code.
that.
We got a code. We got a code, baby. Baker's Dozen at checkout. Make
Baker's
sure you
Dozen.
use that shit. It was great. I mean, like whoever, I want to say it is Spiff who like runs the Twitter for their account. I mean, I've been in DMs with him before, and we've had conversations a bunch of times. I think back when I was even doing like the bakery, we might have had like conversations and things like that. I think I talked to them at the time about maybe even like potential like collaborations, things like that. I mean, they do donut shit. Like how can I
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, there's a
How can I
lot of
not?
that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how I could not, try and talk to them about some things. So it's been a pleasure getting to work with them. They're awesome people too. There's photos actually of me from the Pound tournament that I went to, Pound 2019, I think.
Oh.
Um, there's photos of me up at like front row while they were like setting up, and my friends were just playing like friendlies, and I think I was hungover, but I'm just sitting in the front row, and I'm wearing the bomber jacket I have from them,
Yeah.
and I'm just like sitting there, and some guy took a photo of me, and there's a photo. I'm just sitting there like this, just kind of like
Nice.
just staring at the camera lens because I didn't know who the hell this guy was, just taking photos, but
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna do a very generic model esque, but like
Give him a look.
give him a look, give him a little taste of it. But this is by far my favorite thing.
Oh,
By far,
what's
it's a
happening?
little Naruto reference. Were you ever a Naruto fan? Are you into anime even remotely? You don't strike me.
Not at all. Not at
Yeah,
all.
you don't strike me as that.
Here's the thing. I don't consume a lot of that media. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I watched TV a
Mhm.
lot, and then I went to college.
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't an excuse for anime, but like I stopped watching TV because I like I didn't have the same cable,
right.
and I couldn't like record shows like I would do at home.
Oh, you were a
And
DVR boy.
as a DVR boy, or as a watching, or me and my older brother watching Breaking Bad,
Okay,
like
I
going into
love
his
that
room.
show.
I was so over break.
Mhm.
I don't know what caused me to. I didn't rewatch all of Breaking Bad, but I just like rewatched like top clips from each season,
Okay,
but
okay.
like hours and hours and hours and like behind the scenes. And
Ooh.
like I was like, oh my god. I got it was like 2013 again, and it was like just as Breaking Bad ended, and I wanted to get more.
Mhm.
So
Did,
I think I'm
did
gonna.
you did you ever play that app on? Because you have an iPhone, right?
I do.
Did you ever play that app Quiz Up? Do you
No,
remember that? You never heard of that? That was like
I don't think so.
I wanna say that was back maybe when I was even in, like, high school or maybe early college years. Quiz Up was like this game, it had millions, I think, of, like, topics, right?
Mhm.
Ranging from, like, science and molecular engineering, like, science shit, all the way down to, like, Blue's Clues, right? Like, anything was on here, and I think a
Steve,
lot of the questions the answer is Steve. Uh,
green shirt, went
green
bald.
green shirt, one stripe, bald. They just had like I think it was like user generated questions. I
Yeah.
might be wrong about this, but the questions were all based on whatever your topic was. So Breaking Bad had a topic in
Mhm.
Quiz Up, like it was one where you select it and
Yeah.
and essentially what you do is it's you versus one person, 10 questions. The faster you answer the question, the more points you get, and then by the end, whoever has the most points wins. And
Okay.
of course, if you get it wrong, you're just out. I think like you just didn't get points, so you got
Yeah.
0 for that round, and there's 10 rounds. So I played that for Breaking Bad, and I was number 2 in New York for Breaking Bad and
Oh.
number 26 in the world for Breaking Bad.
Damn,
I
look at
was so
you.
good and then fell off. I just fucking
L
sucked.
plus you fell
That's
off
I
plus
became
ratio.
I L kinged plus ratio. I lost so many times and I just gave up because like people started memorizing the questions and I just
That's
didn't.
funny. That
Yeah.
like very obscure, like, oh, I did really well at this very obscure thing. He's always
It's
like
fun.
fun.
I
Like
don't
you like I don't know. Do you still don't have the world record? You had like it was like a very obscure Undertale
in
category,
hard
right?
mode. Yeah. So speedrun.com, Undertale. Oh god.
Little things like that like always are funny. Like there's this game and is not a good game, but it
Mhm.
was like it's I don't know if in like meme passing did I ever tell you about this random game Tadpole Trouble?
Tadpole trouble.
Like
No, but now I'm googling that while this
It's
pulls
like
up.
it's like such a corny, like, little goofy game, and you, like there's, like, little fish that you have to, like, escort home, and it, like, goes on, like, a music staff, and that's
Oh,
what
I
you
see it.
travel on. You have to, like, hit the button, like, to the beat of, like, different things and move it up and down. Like, it's,
Okay.
like, not super well made, but for
Mhm.
some reason, I was like, "This is, like, my, like" it's, like, cutesy, like, some humor in some of the songs. Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna play this game, and I like completely like 100%ed the game and like did everything, got
Uh-huh.
like the S ranks and all of this. And then I was like, I'm just gonna like try to get like better scores in this. And like this random thing, I was like, I have the fourth best score for one of these things.
Oh
Like
my god.
this random game, Tadpole Trouble, probably 1,000 people
I've
have never like heard
never
of.
even heard of it. Yeah.
But
Oh
the
my
the
god.
guy the guy who made it, I, like,
Uh-huh.
knew him from, like, a Bitfinity. He, like, makes, like, YouTube videos and things too.
Mhm.
So, like, I saw his, like, name on, like, a YouTube video and was like, "Wait a minute, this is that same dude."
That's funny. Also, no, I have second place now for hard mode.
Tight.
Hard mode 1.02 plus. I have second place with my record being set 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
And then silver, shout outs to them. They got it a year ago. They took the world record from me. But it's funny to think that there are still people that just got bored and still have run this category. Like there's 2 runs that I'm seeing. No, three runs from over a year ago. One from just 3 months ago. Two from a month ago. Another from 3. One from 6. Like people still even run the meme category just to like
That's
get a
fun.
score on the board. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Out of the 28 people, I'll take second place. Fuck yeah.
There you go.
I'll get you silver one day when I feel like caring. But that's so funny. Anyway, because we have not even
I'm s
remotely addressed anything, uh, I mean, we could start by just still talking about the holiday because today's a chiller
Yeah,
one. There's not that much crazy news to go into just yet, but I mean, we have some things we want to talk about, and I guess starting
yeah.
with the holiday. I mean, you have any exciting news about that? Anything fun? Anything wacky, wild you want to share about your holiday?
I've hit adulthood.
You have.
I've hit adulthood
What makes
because
you say that?
my collection of Christmas gifts I received this year.
Okay.
My big gift, I got a car starter, like a remote starter for my car, so I can like turn it
So like when
on.
you're not there,
Yeah, so I can like heat up my car
you can
before.
just buy those? I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah. So like my car didn't come with it. It was like my dad got it for me, and yeah, like they like bought it through Best Buy. It was just a pain in the butt, but I could tell you more about that later. And then they installed it for free. It's like a free installation.
oh, those are kind of pricey. Damn,
They
those are
are kind of
that's
pricey.
sick.
Yeah.
Damn.
But, like, that was big, and, like, my other thing that I was really excited for was, like, a medium-sized skillet so I can make different dishes.
I
I have
am
this
I am there with you, man.
I am in this, like, weird, like this is my first, like, real full-time job, and I'm making, like, pretty good money. but
Right.
I'm not used to like making money. So I'm like smart with my money. I'm not just like buying whatever I want.
Right.
And my mom was talking to me one day. She's like, we're like just checking in. You're not like going through all your money, right? You're not just like burning
You
through it.
broke? You broke, bitch, huh?
And we were talking, and we were at like Christmas tree store. We were at some store,
Mhm.
and I was looking for a cheese grater because I hadn't bought a cheese grate, a new one. I had like a dollar store one that was garbage.
Oh, okay. I was
And
like,
I was like, well, they're like expensive. Why? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, they're like gonna be $15 or something. I was like, I don't need to buy that. I'll be fine. And we get there, it's like $3.
yeah,
I'm like, I've been waiting like
that's a
2 months
steal.
for like using this shitty thing. And I was like, and then she like asked me again. I was like, guys, I didn't buy a $3 cheese grater because I thought it was 10. I think I'm
Oh
handling
my
my money
god.
okay.
You're doing great. You're
But
over
but
fearing
yeah,
right now.
I'm getting like kitchen supplies. I like made wonderful hamburger helper with that skillet.
Oh my god.
Like made some other stuff. It's nice.
That's
What about
sick.
you? How was your holiday?
Well, mine was good. We got a rice cooker in terms of in
Ooh.
things like that. We have an Instant Pot that Callie's great at using for like certain like shredded chicken or like steaming veggies and things like that. There's so much that you can use those things for. Shout outs to Instant Pots if they want to sponsor us next. They're fucking dope. I think we use them for like every recipe that we do because we do our meal preps throughout the week.
Yeah. I've been getting into meal prepping a lot more.
It's so helpful.
It's
Just
nice.
have your shit ready to go. But as far as like any like crazy special gifts and things like that, my goal of this year, funny enough, like if you remember, like you just said there, you're like, I know I'm reaching adulthood because of the type of presents that I'm getting. When I
Mhm.
was a kid, getting clothes sucked to me.
But
I was
now
just
it's
like,
the best.
I literally think 90% of the gifts I got this year were clothing.
I
And
got
like
2 dress shirts that is
I
popping off.
got I got 2 dress shirts from Callie's aunts actually. I got 2 more from Callie. I got like 2 turtlenecks, a pair of dress pants, and then like this red suit coat and red suit pants. Like they're
Ooh,
burgundy. They look so nice.
nice.
Um
Gonna go out on the town with those.
Probably gonna wear it for like Valentine's Day, like have a little a
Ooh,
little bit of
yeah.
flair to it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Look
And
at
then
you.
did I get like I'm trying to really think as far as like all that much else. We fuck I'm like my brain is already like somewhat shut off. We went out to Buffalo actually. We went to the falls so Callie could see
Ooh,
the Niagara Falls. So we went there. We went
nice.
to the Seneca Resort and Casino. We did
Okay.
gambling there. That was fun. We actually doubled our money, which is nice.
Hey, look at that.
Um, dude, roulette. Shout outs to my younger brother Luke. Did you ever meet him? I don't think you did. I don't know.
I might have like once when I stayed at your house.
Oh, that's right. You might have met him once, but he's
Stayed
like
at your
crazy
house.
good at gambling. You've stayed at my house a couple times, I think, like twice, maybe
Maybe just once. I was sick and
just
didn't
once.
make it out to the next
That's right.
one.
That
Yeah,
is correct.
the whatever the small. See me on land.
Small, yes. He got crazy good at like gambling with poker and stuff like that. So I was like, "Oh, we're gonna be going out to the casino." He's like, "Oh, play roulette." I'm like, "Why roulette?" Just like I don't know. Every now and again, I guess I would play where I'll just put like half on black and just hope. And he's like, "No, no, no. Make special numbers and put your money on special numbers." So Callie and I were like, "Okay, so what are going to be numbers for us?" Because the minimum buy-in's 15, so you have to put down a minimum of 15 on the board, right? You have
Mhm.
you played roulette before or not?
I've heard a little bit about it. I've not played.
Okay, so there's like bunch of numbers 1 through 36. There's a 0 and a double zero. Those are individual. 1 through 36 are skewed between black and red. Um, there's different areas of the board you can put chips down, but when you go primary in the middle, like where the 1 to 36 are, instead of picking a category, you have to stay there. Pretty much. So, or you have to match that bet to your category bet. So if I put 15 on black, I have to still put 15 in the middle if I want to do both. I can't do like 7 and 7. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
So instead of doing just like a half and half on like black or red or on like first section, second section, third section, any of that, we just picked numbers. So we were like, okay, we're going to do 3 for March because that's our birthday month. We're both in March. We're both fish. We're going to do 1 for the hell of it. We're going to do 13 because that's her. That's one of her favorite numbers. We're going to do 19 because that's my birthday. So now we had 4. And then the 5th one, I think we just chose like fucking 26 or something like that, just randomly. First spin, 3 chips per number, by the way. So whatever we roll, it's if it lands on one of those, it's 36 times however many chips we put down. So we put 3, so that's 105. I think, or no, times 35. Sorry. So 35, 70, 105. So first spin hits 26. And we're just like,
Whoa.
did we? Because then the dude's like gathering the chips together. Granted, they're all in ones, but like when someone just fucking like double handed shoves chips your way, you're like, this was pretty fun. So stayed doing that for a little bit. We saw the falls. Um, she tried the Timbits and she liked them. She tried I got one of they got like a chicken salad sandwich now, which was fire. So I got that, and then she had like one of the wraps. You remember the Chipotle chicken wrap?
Yeah.
That's still fucking tight. Um, and then that was really it. We didn't go down to like New York City or anything because, of course, fucking COVID spikes. Like,
Did you did you happen to watch the we'll get into the COVID. So I watched I was at a friend's house, there's like 3 of us,
yeah,
and they had a COVID like New York Times Square had like a YouTube webcast.
no, what?
And it was so bad. It
What
was like
happened?
it was like 2 there was like no one there because COVID cases in New York City are like crazy scary.
Rampant. Yeah, it was like 22,000 deaths like
Yeah, it
the
was
first
like
few days after Christmas.
yeah. And imagine 3 hours of one person performing 3 different times,
Mhm.
like a probably like a C-list like singer was their main act.
Mhm.
They had this other like vocal group that usually plays for like veterans that was like very not good.
Oh no.
And the rest of the 3 hours was alternating between 2 different people going back and forth interviewing people in the crowd. And it's like,
How much
"Hey, I'm like Mary from Kansas, and I decided to go to New York City this December."
how
It's
much you
like,
want to bet every
right,
single one of them have COVID now? Like at least
yeah.
80 to 90% of them have
But
to have
I
it.
mean, they said there was only like 15K people at Times Square
That's
this year.
still so
It's
many.
still a lot, but I mean, isn't it like it's like gotta be like tens of thousands normally.
Oh yeah. No, it has to
But
be. I'm
it
not
was
seeing enough movement, dude.
not
I'm just
seeing
not
enough movement, you know? There
I
just weren't
think
enough people out there to move.
there was only 1,500. I think I saw Ninja fucking tweeted that out. He was just like,
He
"I'm not
did.
seeing enough movement, y'all." It's like, "Damn, Ninja, you're really out here, ain't you?" But yeah,
Yeah.
those COVID spikes are just fucking wild. Like,
So and COVID throws wrenches into different plans, and
mm.
one of those is the Panda Kickstarter.
Oh, that was nice. That was a good
Thank you.
transition. That
So,
was good.
we talked a couple weeks ago, about Panda, the Kickstarter, different stuff with that, and
Kind of about like controllers in general for the most
yeah,
part. Yeah.
and we had talked a lot about that, and we had both actually mentioned that we had both not at this time purchased the Kickstarter.
Right.
And we were kind of waiting to see what was actually going on,
More
and
insight, more reviews, all that. Yeah.
and Panda came out and they said, "Hey, due to COVID, some of our mass producers and places we get through things in like China are like backed up, and we have no idea when we're gonna get parts. We like might get parts at some time next year, but then that's when we get to finally start doing things. And they're like, there's absolutely no shot we'll make the December 22 date, which is already like a very long time for something like this. And they're like, I mean, they had raised hundreds of $1,000s already.
No, they raised 2
There's
mil,
millions,
didn't they?
2 mils,
Yeah,
yeah.
2
And they
2
were
big
like,
ones.
"Hey, at this point, we, like, don't feel comfortable just holding this money, not knowing how long this is gonna go."
So
So they nuked it, and then everyone got their money back.
so and that's something I kinda wanna touch on here because number 1, gotta give respect where it's due, and I think that was probably one of the
We made the right
best.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, that was by far one of the best things I've seen from any esports company in a long ass time. Like if there's a tier list at all for plunders or failures or just like shit happening in esports, right? Like
Mhm.
there's what like the um oh my god, like the companies that like M2K was a part of, like P4K and all the like money schemes that like other
Mhm. Wasn't there,
esports
like, some
companies
with,
have
like,
done.
thunders or something? It might have
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah.
There was something with that.
There was a bunch of shit that's happened within
Yeah.
esports and like a lot of blunders and bullshit. So to see Panda
Be this
go,
upfront. Yeah.
they, straightforward, all the information's out there. I was under the wrong impression for a while because I didn't get the time to look into it. I only saw that refunds were being given out and I was just like, "Oh shit." Like I imagined it's another Kickstarter failure bullshit. So, of course everyone's going to get their money back. But I think yeah, you pretty much informed me. You're like, "No, it actually had to do with COVID." And it's like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually so much more logical. Like that makes sense while at the same time it fucking
It
sucks and just
sucked.
continues to show." It's like,
And everyone
can
was, like, so excited too.
well, what for the controller or for the
Yeah, for the
refund?
controller, for the
Okay.
controllers.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, this still seemed like it had a lot of good backing to it. Again, I still don't think I was ready to throw money. I still wouldn't have been. Now I'm even more like, shit. I wonder how this is going to affect them in the future with this as a concept. The transparency was there, which is fucking sick. But how, this is going to play into the future for when they're ready to start up again. Are people going to feel as comfortable to say, all right, no, here, take my
Well,
money again?
I mean, I don't think anyone else is, like, gonna do anything in the meantime that makes controllers better. I mean, maybe there'll be more, like, frame ones or boxes readily available, but that's, like, a small number. That's not gonna dent much into 2 mil.
I don't disagree with you there, but it's the concept that people have, especially in this time right now where COVID is spiking again and we're about to be entering another lockdown.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I guess. I don't know. I say hopefully. I don't really give a fuck what the other sides might try and say at this point. We need one and people need to be safer. And so if we are looking to enter another lockdown, money will become tighter for anyone.
yeah,
Especially gamers that are throwing away $90 at a controller. They're not going to. They're going to play the controller lottery because it's cheaper and they just need a new one, or they do save that holiday money and say, maybe it is time to learn the box. Pipsqueak's making me nut over here on his fucking what he uses frame
these
one,
are
or
the
does
frame one,
yeah,
I
he's over
think.
here nutting
I
on a
could
frame one.
I could be wrong. I don't I guess I don't know that
Okay.
entirely enough to make a stand.
Motherfucker's on a box. Swift is on a box.
He's on a
Axe is on a
rectangle
box.
for sure.
Yeah,
They're
he's
on
on a rectangle.
rectangles.
That's a better way to phrase. I love that he's on a rectangle.
He's on a rectangle.
They're on the parallelogram. Or fuck. No.
Yeah, yeah, it's parallelogram.
Wait, I am saying that right? Okay.
It's alright, yeah.
My geography
Geometry.
geometry.
That one you got wrong.
It's like
That one you got wrong.
1 out of 2. Fucking hell. It's
Hey,
late.
that's a
No.
50.
Hype
That's very
50s.
good.
But like, I mean, it's the concepts that like people fuck, people trying to save their money. It's gonna become more rampant. So I mean, granted, they also did say like, yeah, we're not gonna hit the December 2022 mark. So clearly they have time to do the
Yeah,
rebuilding and like
yeah,
everything that's gonna need to happen for that. It's just so fucking wild that they were able to go this far before finding out that like there's all these issues. I guess to
Yeah.
me, within the means of production, it's like I ain't ever produced shit. I'm not
Mhm.
a an entrepreneur like that.
Yeah.
It just blows
But
my mind.
I mean, to be fair, it's been under like it was under a month that the Kickstarter was out,
But
so
I
they
mean,
probably.
they set up these goals and they had this concept
But
with
I mean,
something.
they can't even start putting wheels in motion and ordering parts until they know that there's going to be funding. So they're probably like, "Holy crap, we have a lot of funding. Let's start talking to the people, the producers." And then the producers are like, I don't think
True.
so."
True. I guess again, my concern just at the end of the day comes down to like how much were they prepared? How much did they like?
I think they had done what they needed to do, and
You
then
think?
I think so.
Okay.
It seems like
Mm,
they were running a pretty good ship with this.
I agree.
Even in the gracious fall, they
Yeah.
still do what they need to do.
I would love to have a conversation with someone that like has like 100% on the insight because I am just curious, not in a way to like put it down. I'm just
Yeah.
very curious into what was the marketing like talk, because they had to talk about this and say, okay, so this is going to be for the Smash community, for GameCube controller users that need these specific things. Um, it's a very like fucking the concept of a controller is
See.
not something that's new to anyone for marketing though.
Yeah.
Like box, I think should be enough of a representation to show that if you do something that is uh I don't want to say like turn of the century. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's
Innovative.
innovative. Yes, thank you. You make an innovative product, it is going to sell. That's to me from not a marketing perspective, someone that doesn't know business and marketing like that. I know some, but not that much. That that speaks to itself because you can just compare against Goomwave, Nesmods, fucking customs in their own. Cubbymo, one of my favorites. Like they sell so much product.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier probably for them to get it since it's generic Nintendo or
Yeah.
GameCube controller parts, whereas this is all, I guess, like custom done. I guess right. Like these
Yeah.
are different builds.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess like yeah, probably there is a difference. I'd just love to
I need
hear
a
what they were expecting.
I need a maybe this is something you have some insight. I need a modder. I have like four very good controllers, and my brother has a controller that needs some tweaking, like some snapback mods. Some need stick block replaces. They've been sitting in bags ready to go for
Mhm.
months. I
I
took them out
don't
the other
have
day.
I don't have
I
anyone to
I
recommend. I just say
yeah.
Jay.
I'll look around, and I don't know, maybe him. I've talked to some modders a while back, but some of them it's like a 4 week wait,
Yeah,
and which is a while. But part of me is like, I also have a controller that works, so it doesn't really matter if I get on like a queue.
options. Yeah,
But we'll
I
see.
would definitely say it's into
They're sitting in my living room floor right over there now because I took off a stick from an old controller for a friend who needed one.
shout outs to good pals. But I guess as far as like what the future is going to hold for that, I am excited to see it still. I don't think my view on that's changed at all. I definitely still want it to happen. I still
Yeah,
want to see this controller. I want to be a supporter. I would love to actually give the money. I just still want, what I said before. I would love the testing to be done. I sound like an anti-vaxxer, but like I want more testing, and I'd love to see what they have to say once they're able to come back out. But I think to wrap that up as a point, do you think someone could start doing their own indie design of a controller, or do you think it's just way too beyond the realm of
I
doability?
think it's too. They're like that sort of process reinvents the wheel. Like, I think in terms of GameCube controllers, because it's a whole different physical shape, and
A
those
rectangle?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see anyone coming out in, like, a unique way like that and doing something. There's already, like, talks about, like, what would be legal and what wouldn't be legal on the Panda controller, and I
Hmm.
think the only way that things of that were, like, kind of flying is because Panda seemed like they were game to, like, talk.
Hmm.
Whereas, like, I think if, like, if someone like Gooms was like, "Hey, Goomwave 2.0 has 2 Z buttons."
Right.
I think that gets shot down immediately.
Right. I guess because that's where the other question comes in, where it's like, isn't there still some discussion about like some box controllers or box controllers in
Oh yeah,
general being
frame
banned?
they're actually so I was talking to someone who knows a lot more about this than me.
Hmm.
So there's still some like uncapped things like frame 1 absolutely busted. Hacks
Really?
has some nerfs on the box that make it better, but those nerfs don't happen on net play, apparently. Those
W-
like caps don't happen through the emulator by the way that inputs are read. So anyone who's playing on net play, no matter what kind of thing, just have like totally unhinged, like do what they want with like SDI. There's no SDI limits or things like that. When you go back to LAN, things like the box have those nerfs. Frame ones do not, which is where things are like people are like, wait a minute, because like frame one's just like still broken online or anywhere.
And those have still been considered legal.
Yes.
That's wild to
Yeah.
me.
Someone told me that the other day because they were someone that has like been on like the you guys are like going wild because he's a box player and
Hmm.
we like talked about it a little bit and I was like, I didn't know that.
I had no idea. I've seen and like memed about it within like my friends at the Melee Hell court
Mhm.
and whatnot. Like we'll make jokes about it where it's like, oh yeah, ban the box, lol. Because a friend of mine, shouts TD Tyler, he plays on a box now, and he's actually like kind of sick. His Fox is like it does some really fun shit with like edge cancels and whatnot, and it just he's very he's getting very good very quickly with his box. Um, and it's just like some of the shit he does, like these dash forward up tilts that are just like almost instant, and just a lot of other movement based things are just kind of like that's literally impossible to do on like a GameCube controller without wanting arthritis, like or carpal tunnel or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, so much of this, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on it anymore, and it leads me to think like, damn, I don't know how much for one of my New Year's resolutions. I was like, maybe I will try to compete a little bit more with it in Melee. I don't know if I want to, if boxes are going to be all over the place.
I'm here to get clips and make content through clips.
Can we segue into talking about a clip fucking feast? Okay, it's going to be in the description of this fucking video for sure. This man's this
Wasn't
fucking
that a
man's
cool concept too?
that was a beautiful one. Puts out a defensive melee combo video, pops it off because it's not only some sick clips, but it is a sick concept. No one's doing videos like that.
Yeah,
And it's about time.
there's very few things that
Yeah,
I've seen like that. And I know YCZ has like he's
sure.
got one of the whole bunch of Samus recoveries, but
Hmm.
this is less about like exploring the meta with Fox, but more of like here's how doing playing defensively can benefit you. Because
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that I've come to realize with melee is that if I can live one more time, my punish game is good enough that that can be a huge issue for you.
Yep.
So if I just get really good at ledge teching, doing this tech, doing this kind of thing, and I get another chance at life and I get another combo on you, it's like
You're
done
done.
for. I've
You're
been
done.
playing around with some like crazy like punishing with like slide off stuff. Like
Hmm.
there was like in there was like I slid off, like slide off the platform, then drift in to get a drill wave shine up smash.
Yep.
And
Yep. I
like
actually I saw
that's sick.
I saw IBDW practicing stuff like that, except I think what he was practicing was mid percent Fox on Pokemon Stadium side plats, and he's in knockdown, so like he's in an
Mhm.
animation to
On the
tech,
ground, yeah.
right? And Marth does like short hot up air into immediate up tilt, and
Oh, okay.
he SDIs the up air out, so he avoids the up tilt and then goes in for a grab up throw up air.
Yeah.
And I was
There's
watching that, I'm like,
yeah.
what?
There's an uncle punch for that. Well, I guess that's
I
for
think
up
that's what he
air.
was using.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's till yeah, it's
I'm
nuts.
like, how in the fuck do
Yeah,
people even think to do
that's
that?
where I was that's where I got the idea. I was doing that Uncle Punch thing,
Mhm.
and I was, like, hanging in Discord, and I was like, "Is there a way I can, like, punish other than grab?" And I was like, "If they're close enough, I can." So you have to input out, like, down or, like, down and away and then, like, out or whatever on the C stick, and
Mhm.
then after that input goes in, drift back in to get the drill and connect the drill before you land.
See,
It's sick. It's
oh,
sick. I got a clip the other day, and I, like, wave dash down, and it goes into, like, a wave shine up smash, just, like, off the rip before they get punished. It's like, that stuff to me is so cool.
'cause it is.
That's the stuff, like, with all the combos and all this, I love combo game, I love seeing people there's still people that do it and, like,
Mhm.
make it seem fresh, but things like that are just so cool. Whenever I'm, like, on
Absolutely.
commentary, one of the things that I like to point out is that the evolution of the defensive game in Melee
Absolutely.
is so big,
It is.
and that's kind of where I got that idea. Also, shout outs to my brother. So I had pulled all the clips for that already, and my brother was over, and he was, like, actually going to, like, little Ultimate Weekly, and
Mm.
he, like, was really tired, so he, like, fell asleep on my couch for, like, an hour, and that's when I made that video and posted it on Twitter.
You just
He,
just
like,
made
woke
it
up,
while he slept.
he, like, woke up, and I'm like, "Hey, check this out. I think I'm gonna, like, put it on Twitter."
Come look at this video for me. It's great.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's insane, like, trying to watch these type of things, which is, another great thing to talk about here today, and that's just the concept of entertainment and edutainment when watching certain things, whether it's gaming, whether it's just people, like, showcasing talents, things like that. I think a fun concept to kinda dive into that we've talked about before here is the concept of why we watch the people that we watch, when we go either online, when you used to have television, what it is that leads you to watch these type of things. And I think I just somewhat kind of touched on like one concept within Cody's streams, and it
Yeah.
was that I'd never really seen people practicing that, because to me, I don't know much about the Uncle Punch stuff. I know it's an amazing practice mod. I've never used it myself, but I'd be very interested to. And I know if I am actually going to try and pursue competing a little bit more, maybe I should probably use that. But watching Cody, it's just like I know he's an incredibly talented player, so I wanted to see what he was up to, and that's
So
one of my biggest things.
So Dan, for the viewers that aren't bless you, for the viewers that aren't
Thank
as adept, where do you watch Cody?
I watch Cody at twitch.tv/IBDW.
What is Twitch?
Uh,
Explain that for our
oh,
for our
that's good.
broader audience.
That's
I
fair.
have some broader audience members.
You know, the baker's dozen has some audience essentially. I mean, twitch.tv on the www is
The
it's a
World
really
Wide Web.
it's a really great website where it's owned by our Lord and Savior Jeff Bezos, who provides us with content like
I steal
video
$5 from him every month. Twitch
for your
Prime.
well, you don't steal it.
It's like
You're
250.
paying for it.
Shh, don't say that part.
All right.
It feels like I'm like Robin Hood. I like
Sh-
take from Jeff Bezos and 250 goes to a streamer.
Shout out Hassan Abi on Twitch, who I think his little dog emo. Anytime it pops up, it says "sub to me" and use Jeff Bezos's money to get back at him or something like that. And it's like, yeah, pretty much.
But But we were talking about content, so, like,
Yeah.
Twitch, watching people play games online, that is most of the content I watch these days.
Oh, 100%.
I don't really watch many, like, Netflix shows. I never really watch movies. My friend's like, "Oh, you should, like, watch
Oh,
all of the Avengers movies or something." I'm like, "That's a
yes,
lot."
yes,
And I'm
I
like,
am
"That's a
that
lot."
friend.
No,
Yeah, and it's so
no,
worth it. Did you not see the new Spider-Man?
no, I haven't seen the new Spider-Man.
You need to go fucking see the new
I've seen, like,
Spider-Man.
one Spider-Man movie in my life,
What the
man.
fuck do you mean the Spider-Mans are so
I just
good?
watch Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, go watch Spider. Oh
That's
my
all I watch. See,
god.
like, here's the thing. If I, like, put something like that on, I'm 100% playing, like, RuneScape and AFKing on the side, so I'm not even gonna get it all, right?
I do the same. During Halloween, Callie and I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I think, or the horrifying. It's something. No, it's like the new one, the new
Oh,
Sabrina. It's like no, it's really fucking good. It was on Netflix. Or The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, I think is what it's called, which
okay.
is supposed to be like a newer take on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but like with more modern concepts, and there's a lot of really cool shit in it. Anyway, I loved it. I'd highly recommend it to anyone who's like into just fun little Halloween / political commentary and personal society commentary and whatnot. But while we would watch that, I'm over in the corner,
I'm a mobile.
I'm either fucking high alching air battle staffs or fucking making cannonballs. And I'm just like trying to do something to grind some money while we
Yeah.
watch. So I get that. But still, there's so much fucking good content. The
There's a
Witcher
lot of good
season
content. There's a lot.
2.
Never seen anything The Witcher. Like I didn't watch Squid Game.
Ooh,
I
go
didn't watch I mean, I never watched Game of Thrones. I
Drew.
I just didn't I just did that I never just like did
So
much of it.
Twitch, because of
So I watch Twitch. There's some see, here's this is kind of what I think about with Twitch. So you
Mhm,
think about all those things,
mhm.
and at one point, I could just watch Tim the Tap Man for 4 hours a day
No.
and never feel like and like always need to be there.
Well, hang
Like
on. Let's put some respect on it. He's YouTube gaming now. It's
now
not
he's
Twitch.
YouTube. That's not what I was watching him more in those days. You're right. He's on YouTube.
Well,
YouTube gamer.
that's a good point though. That even right there is a good point because we as Twitch fans and Twitch viewers, I know that's where I reside more than anything. I'm working
I
and I have it up.
almost never watch
I
YouTube
have
live streams.
I will be 1,000,000% honest. I have only ever watched YouTube gaming when Corpse was first on there and played like Among Us twice with
Mhm.
like a few people. I
For the big
watched
play,
that.
yeah.
He did it a bunch of times, true. I'd watched it maybe twice. That was my only time I spent time on YouTube gaming, and then maybe one other time when I think Critical went live on
Okay.
YouTube gaming once a long, 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 long time back, but I think he did it because he was drunk and just, like, fucking around with his friends or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was
I've watched a little bit, but
of YouTube
I'm
gaming?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, well, Doctor Lupo has, like, a Build Against Cancer stream every year, and
Oh,
now
love
he's on
that.
YouTube, and I watch that
Right.
there. But, like, I used to watch every once in a while Courage, but, I just
Yeah.
his that content isn't really what I watch anymore. I've, like, faded away from, like, the shooters and things.
The forehead and the
Uh,
fucking escape from Tarkov and
yeah.
Call of Duty. Yeah, I get
But,
that, but
like
that's a good point. What is it about the type of content, or what is it about the viewer, or the
Mhm.
viewing that draws you to a person?
I
Because some people will argue it doesn't matter what they're playing. You know what I mean?
It can. There's some people that their personality like, I think Tim the Tatman is a wonderful example. Tim can be
I
playing
agree.
something and, like, the way his, like, comedy and just, like, his goofiness, in most games, I can watch him
Yep.
and just watch. I mean, like, I never really got into, like, Apex, and I stopped caring about Warzone a long time ago.
Yep.
But, like, even, like, Fortnite, I never took Fortnite seriously. But, like, if it's something like that
Couldn't be
seemed,
me.
like, a relatable enough, and,
Hmm.
like, I think, like, for me, like, prime Twitch was, like it was even, like, after Ninja's peak, but,
Hmm.
like, watching, like, the squad just run
Yep.
down and, like, destroy everyone in lobbies with, like, just and also that banter too.
Oh, it
Like,
was great. It
it
was
was
great.
it was it was so good
I
going
agree.
with all them, and, I mean, I could watch that for hours and, like, doing things, and you never know what's gonna happen. There's so much content that can come out of it.
Hmm.
It's good, but even I'm just, like, thinking, like, who do I
Of like
watch
other people.
now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um I guess I don't watch, like, this moment as much because like,
Hmm.
even Valorant, like, I'll watch Hiko once in a while, but, like, each
Sure.
game, I feel like you have, like, a guy, you know? Or, like, a gal or, like, whoever or whatever pal you have that plays a game that you're like, "Oh, this is gonna go." Like, when Matt streams Valorant, I'm, like,
Go to
always in
it.
the stream.
Yep.
I'm always in the stream,
Yep.
I
Yep.
think.
So it's kind of funny that you say that because I actually couldn't disagree more.
Really?
When it comes to a game, that's more of like what I try to assign my viewing to is the game and then the people in that community. So, but even saying that, it depends on how much I know about the community, right? So for like the topic of Melee, because this isn't a Melee based podcast, if Mango is streaming Melee, I'm probably going to turn it on. Oh, but is Leffen streaming Melee? Oh, is Levo on today? It was on today. Oh, is Sora streaming now? Oh, that's dope. Is Squid the Cat doing some sick fucking Falcon stuff? That's sick. Oh, is J Flex on now? What's going on? I will tune in to lots of different people playing and just kind of like watch for a bit and just kind of hang out, just like
You're like a
lurk
nice
through.
little lurker.
Exactly. I'll hang out for a while and just enjoy a different person because to me, every streamer and every competitive gamer is going to have their own oomph, like they've got
Yeah.
their own thing to it.
They bring something else to it.
Exactly. And so like when I stopped in Cody's stream the other day and I saw him practicing that, I was like, wow, I'm not going to stick around in here, but that was really cool to see him practicing because that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go watch Zane versus Moki or something like that. Like there's tons of different avenues and available channels to watch. So I'm going to do that. And the same thing can be said for other games though, right? Like
Mhm.
Counter-Strike. I could watch any top player. Fucking I don't know if you're familiar with Lyric.
Or the name. Yeah.
Lirik. He's one of the
Mhm.
bigger
Yeah.
variety streamers of the platform. He's for some reason like just playing Counter Strike now since the beginning of the year, and I tuned into that. He's not very good, but he's higher ranked than me right now because I haven't played in forever. But like
I haven't lost a
watched
game to
him.
Counter Strike this year.
How many games did you play?
Next question.
Scott,
I downloaded Counter Strike once. I've never played a game of Counter Strike in my life.
Drew, that was the best answer you've given in all of 2022. Um, so like I could watch that, or better yet, another easy one is like speed running. So like Mario 64. Another goal I have is eventually to break a 20-minute barrier this year. And so what am I doing? I'm watching the top
Watching.
runners. I watched Ouija for a shit ton today. I watched Lunar Jump for a shit ton today. I tuned into Kano. Like there's a lot of different runners, and instead of just watching one, I find it just a bit more interesting to just kind of bounce around throughout the day. I think it just gives you a lot more, I don't know, just entertainment.
And I think this is credit to Twitch
Mhm.
that you and I are such different users on the
Mhm.
platform, but we still have a spot. And that's like one of the first. I like open my computer and I
Mhm.
open instantly. It's Discord,
Yep.
Twitter, Twitch, and like YouTube.
Yep.
And I like instantly open those. But like Twitch is on there because I'm like, oh, there's usually something I can find
Right.
depending on these games. Or like, oh, this time I know this person's probably on.
Right. And most of the time it is. And that's just a part of these communities that it's just really fun to kind of get into. And I
Yeah.
feel like the concept of streaming in itself, it very much seems like it's been something that has audiences behind it. Like
It does.
people are here.
And I think also one of my favorite things is sometimes like watching someone grow.
Yes.
And like I mean we had him on the show, literal friend of the show, 8VA.
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
and just watching cuz I knew him before and it was like he had like very little like traction at first, just like doing his thing. But like there's like so many like regulars in the community now and like
Mhm.
regular people I see and like it's good content and I like he's very personable and all this and I'm like this
Mhm.
is just like awesome. He's another one I'm like always in there doing that. And it's cool to see like even that like a friend do super well.
I agree. No, I couldn't agree more. In fact, as we talk about people that we know and friends of the show, Shay, who's currently he's always in a fight to try and get the Undertale world record back.
Mhm.
Um, I remember way back when Shay and Snowy
Okay.
Y101, another friend of the show, they were kind of going back at it for trying to get the Undertale world record, and I think Shay had it for a long time, and he was just kind of trying to get all the category. world records. I
Mhm.
remember watching this man's, and he had like maybe 15 to 20, maybe like 40 viewers sometimes. So he was pulling a decent audience and things like that. But now for the game Undertale, something that's been out for a long ass time, people know the game, but you'd be shocked to hear that there's still a very solid community around it. He's pulling like 300 viewers, like
Wow.
2 to 300 viewers while he's trying to grind. And it's fucking awesome because he
That's
deserves
cool.
it. The dude's got a great fucking grind ethic. Like he's pushing himself. I think he just got a world record for one of the categories, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and then just his personality is nice. He always seemed very interactive with his chat. Yeah, he just got all chapters glitchless in Deltarune. He just got the
Mhm.
world record in that, and it's like dude's super nice. He's really cool. He's also fucking crazy talented at piano. So like
Nice. So
dude's lit. I'm happy to see growth in that too, and I think it's so cool to see that happen. I agree with you entirely that watching
so
those growths are amazing.
what do you like to see in a stream?
What do I
What do you
like to
like to
see?
you're especially as someone you're a little like Larry lurker.
I am a
You're gonna
Larry
pop
lurker.
in
I
you're gonna
am.
pop into twitch.tv/DrewNG, which hasn't gone live in like 6 months. But
Dude,
you pop in the
me too.
stream you pop in the stream and see me going, what is those kind of things that like check the boxes in your head to go, this was a good stream.
Community engagement. So someone that doesn't just bluntly ignore their chat and give zero fucks about the people that are in there. And entertaining gameplay or entertaining content. I don't think it's really even all that much, because I've started seeing like even reactionary content can be kind of funny. Like people pulling up a video and just laughing at it. Shout outs to 6 seconds, Shizzy, the God on Twitch, Twitch TV, the God, GAWD. Um, Sick rapper, but also does like just chillins basically. Like sometimes he's playing games too, but most of the time
Mhm.
it seems like he's just kind of chilling with his homies and just like watching videos and shit and just kind of like talking shit over the video with like his friends, and it's funny. Like
Yeah.
that's entertaining, and he talks to his chat, and he's got a fun chat base there. I don't know, fucking like a majority of Smash streamers, very similar vibe. They're playing their game, they're fucking good at it, they're pretty cool with what they're doing. That's sick. And then I think in like a very small area, depending on what team is playing, tournaments. Tournaments are just generally, in my opinion, fun to watch, but I cut the chat out. Like, get that shit out of here. I
Yeah,
couldn't
I don't
give
like
a
doing
single
that
fuck
either. No.
unless it's Smash, where I can just be like, oh, that was sick, or like, whoa, look at that, and it's not a major. So like again, example today, Levo was on, and just like watching Pipsqueak, watching Solo Battle, like watching some of these guys
Did you
go at it.
did you see the result of the European top 8 the other day? That was
No,
like the top 8 was like Peach, Puff, Ice Climbers, Puff, Sheik, Peach, or something. It was like
I'm
top 8.
throwing up
It was
and
like
shitting.
top 8. And then Nikki tweeted, he's like, "Oh, this sucks. I could have also been in that and gotten top 8 with Ice Climbers."
No, Nick, no
Nikki wasn't
cap
even
at
in it.
all. No cap at all. Nikki's ices are kind of dope. I saw him post a fucking Twitter clip, and that was nasty. But yes, that shit
But yeah,
fucking, oh my
yeah.
god. The fucking floaties, good lord. But what about you? What about you? What is it that you like to watch and why?
Um, I don't wanna I don't wanna say a charm is the wrong word. There's something
Charisma?
I charisma. I like whenever I tune into streams, I go there for like entertainment. I want it to be something that like makes me happy, you
Okay.
know? So for me, like a super like try hard stream isn't always like what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Kind of the more like lighthearted sort of vibey kind of places.
Mm.
And sometimes I'll go and find any pro Valorant player play.
Mhm.
but I watch Tim the Tatman when I don't have no idea what game he's playing
Right.
because I'm
He ain't
there for
teaching you shit.
I'm there, yeah, I'm not watching Tim the Tatman to go, "Wow, that's how I should drop in Warzone."
Yeah.
Be like,
Which even sometimes you just pick up on anyway.
yeah.
You just look at it and you go, "Oh, yo, that was kinda cool. I liked that," or "I wasn't even, like, trying to learn that, but now I know." You know? It can just have that kinda impact.
But yeah,
I
it's
had some
the cozy vibes. That's what I wanted because usually I don't see myself again. I'm busy. I'm doing other things. I'm multitasking. It's very rare.
RuneScaping.
It's very rare that I'm like, hey, let me sit down and give 100% of attention to the stream.
Oh, yeah. No,
Like
100%.
almost never happens because I'm just busy. Like if
Life
I
is
have
hard.
if I have an hour to chill, I'm like probably gonna be playing a game or like playing melee and having
Mhm.
something on. So having just somewhere that I can hang is nice. And sometimes, and I don't know if we want to get down this rabbit hole too much, but like YouTube content too.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's in a very nice consumable package where
I
I can go
have
and
if I go to my YouTube, I don't know how much you use this, but if I go to my YouTube watch later, I've got like
I don't use watch later.
40 I got like 40
Good.
videos on here cuz there's just a bunch of shit that I've found that yeah, it's like YouTube content that I
I
don't want to
I
forget
watch
about.
a lot of content and I'm already like some people that I sub to it's like an instant watch. Like I need
Mhm.
to like that day I need to watch it. Or like
Yeah.
one of the games that I got into a lot last year was Binding of Isaac.
Right.
And I watch a YouTuber and he puts out daily uploads of runs. And those runs could be like 30 minutes to an hour, or even more sometimes if they go crazy near those extra victory laps and things. But
Okay.
like but like that's like kind of been incorporated in my day. Like almost every day, at least I will probably as I'm making dinner, I will have the Sinvicta run, at least the
Okay.
beginning of it on my phone and watch that as I eat dinner.
Yep.
And then if I'm like, "Oh, man, I'm really into it," I'll, like, go and put it on my computer when I get back to my computer, or I'll put it on when I go to sleep,
Right.
kinda
Yep.
thing. So it's like, that's just, like that's something that, like, even and again, it's a daily series. I've been probably watching him, like, daily since the new way before the new Afterbirth or Repentance came out. That's
Mhm.
been out for almost a year, so I've been probably watching him for a year. Not always watching him the day of, but, like,
Right.
I pretty much watch every episode.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned, you know, those different ways and the reasons that you're watching him from this
Mhm.
perspective because I'm sure you're familiar with him, but Shroud was
Yeah.
very heavily known for this same thing, except clearly he was also super fucking talented. He's not
Yeah.
out here explaining every little thing he's doing, but he's very calm, very collected. A lot of people, I think, back when he did an interview once, he was even saying, like, people even just fell asleep to the sound of my voice. And I'm just like,
Invicta's like that too.
yeah, yeah. So it's like sometimes you can just find these people that are just a calming attitude. I'm having a good time hanging out, watching what you're doing, and whether you're winning or losing, just hanging out. If I can have it on in the background, I don't know about you. Clearly, you said you fall asleep to things.
Mhm.
You'll eat your dinner to things. I'm a fucking obsessive to the point where sometimes if it's a stream and maybe someone's on a really good Mario run, or it's a YouTube video that I've been needing to watch, I put that on in my shower. Like I have a little ledge area at the top of my
Uh,
shower that like indents, and if I just fold my phone up and put it against the wall, it just sits there and I just
on there.
listen to it or watch it while I'm going. Most of the time it's like Hassan videos so I can catch up on any news I missed. But
Mhm.
things like that, like those types of content, those types of streams, I
And
love it.
and then this kind of ties back. This is how I consume that content. I
Mhm.
can't watch like a movie. Like say like I need to catch up or like, oh, I should watch every single Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like watching the movie as I'm like getting ready in the morning, like I'm not gonna retain it to the point that people are like, oh, you need to like take in these things.
I guess,
So
yeah. That's
I'm like, yeah, just don't do it.
You
Even though
watch them going to
I
bed
probably should.
though,
I'm gonna
before
fall
bed.
asleep if I'm going to bed. Gonna go to
Wake
sleep.
up. Wake up.
I'm gonna get like 20 minutes of the movie.
So can't dedicate a little bit of time. That's all I'm gonna say. Just dedicate a little bit of time.
That's where the single player games come in. That's see, this is like full circle. That's
Yeah.
the only time where I fully immerse myself in something these days. I think
That's
about
good.
that now. That's the only time. Because like if
Yeah.
I'm watching like Netflix or Hulu, like I gotta watch my Bob's Burgers on Hulu, I still have it at
Bob's
one
Burgers.
monitor and I'm playing a game. I love Bob's Burgers. It's my
Everyone
favorite.
does.
Yeah.
Everyone
But
does.
it's the single player games. If I'm playing like Uncharted or like part of Life is Strange, that's the
Yeah.
only time really reflecting now that I'm really just like
In it.
this is the thing. I'm like not even looking at my phone. Like I'm just immersing myself in this. Which, to be fair, is the same way that like these movies should be. But I just haven't taken a grasp of that.
All I'm gonna say is just watch the fucking Avengers movies, dude. I'm telling you, they're all so
See,
fucking good. So
see,
good.
I watched right before COVID. I never watched all the Star Wars movies.
That's fine.
It's but like as like a music person, John Williams and his writing and all the Star Wars is like
Yeah.
so good. So the
Yeah.
last one came out in theaters. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch all of the Star Wars. So I watched 8 Star Wars movies in like a week, and then saw the last one, the new one, in theaters. But I wanted, and my friend's like, "Oh, just do it like you did Star Wars." Like I wanted to watch Star Wars.
But
I
you don't want to watch the Avengers? What the fuck?
I don't
Dude,
know.
listen, here's all I'm gonna say. The new Spider-Man. I am a movie snob now,
I've
right?
heard it's very good.
I am a movie snob and I am a TV snob now, all because of being a communications major. I learned way too much about how movies and TV shows are made. I learned way too much about what is technically considered good acting and bad acting, ways that it can be handled, ways editing can kind of help that, but also ways that editing can hinder that. And I'm a huge movie snob now and TV snob to at least my internals. I try not to be external about it all that much when watching things, even just like with Callie or whatever. Every now and again, maybe I'll like nudge her and be like, oh, this was funny. You want to know why?
Mhm.
Because she didn't care or get it. But I'll find something funny. And Spider Man No Way Home was by far a, in my opinion, a 9 out of 10 movie. And I cannot think of the last movie or TV show even that I have rated that high. I'm watching The Witcher right now with Callie. We watched all of season 1. We're watching season 2 now because season 2 just came out. I used to be a huge Game of Thrones snob. I've kind of backed off that a bit because we found out a lot of really gross shit about like the director and the way that they like made female characters do a bunch of shit that was really unnecessary. So now we're trying to give The Witcher a shot. And even this, from someone that used to be a Game of Thrones like stan, 8 out of 10. I wouldn't even give it a 9 out of 10. Breaking Bad, we talked about that earlier. 8.5 out of 10. Like I wouldn't even
Really?
give that a 10 out of 10 in
May
comparison to No Way Home.
Really?
I
Maybe
promise.
I don't have standards. I like watch little scenes of Breaking Bad, and I have like those goosebumps are like there. I'm like back there.
I mean, listen, I'm not calling it a bad show. I'm not saying it's not a good show, but there are more continuity errors and just visual audio things that as a dipshit that I've become because of being a comm major, I noticed in that than I
Mhm.
did in Spider-Man. And I don't know. I don't know. I am definitely a Spider-Man No Way Home stan after watching that. That movie was incredible. Callie just turned me on to the Avengers movies anyway, like just last year. So I'm fresh with the shits, right? Like I just
Mhm.
had my first Chipotle bowl. I'm that fresh into the shits. So here's what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
dude.
do. I'm gonna hope this episode somehow blows off in the comment section, just ridicules you to do this. You get us to what? Get us to like $100 in patron subscribers and he'll do it. How about that? Well,
Watch one Spider-Man,
no,
one.
watch all of the Avengers. That's the deal. No more Twitch for you
No more
until
Twitch
you're
for me. What about I gotta follow the group Iron Man content? You know?
Drew, I don't remember saying, "Oh, but you can still watch that." No. No more Twitch
No more
content.
Twitch content.
No more
You're
until
out of there.
if we get $100 in patron subscribers, then that's the dealio. You're agreeing to it through me. That's how this is gonna work. Last thing I want to talk about though. Concept of solo streamers versus like larger events when it comes to like streaming on Twitch. Do you have a preference, or are you someone that really doesn't give a shit and, watching either or brings you satisfaction?
What do you So can I get a little bit more? Do you mean like group like these like there's I don't know who they are actually, but there's like a group of people that always stream. There's like a three guy group that streams like COD or something. Is that what you're thinking about? Or are you talking about
No, like a tournament versus like a solo streamer just
Oh
having a good old day, or
um
like an event, so like TwitchCon or
yeah.
a Rocket League tournament.
It depends on the thing. It
Yeah.
depends on what it is. I don't watch Rocket League streamers really anymore.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of they're all so good that like watching ranked play after a while just feels the same,
Okay.
like top end ranked play. Not that I know enough about the game to really be able to say differentiate things, but like when there's
Mhm.
not really anything on the line,
Okay.
it doesn't hit as much as
So
like watching
watching
RLCS and watching like
right.
the actual things with storylines and all this build up.
Do you think the
Um,
team being in a part matters all that much, or can you kinda say, "I don't give a fuck who the teams are, I just kinda wanna see the
I
play"?
I can see the play for, like, RLCS. In
Okay.
Valorant, I've come around to that too.
Okay.
At first, I was like I mean, I'm still, like, a big 100 Thieves fan,
Right.
but at the beginning, I was like, "Oh, 100 Thieves is out? Like, no thanks." And I was like, "Wait a minute, there's some, like, really good," and I, like, understand enough about Valorant, just, like, conceptually to be like, "Oh, this is how this team plays different. That's kind of
Mhm.
cool." Gambit waits until 30 seconds left of the round to execute on a site every time, and somehow they do well with that.
Mhm.
And, like, things like that are cool. So I'll watch a lot more I feel like I end up watching a lot more event stuff like that.
Mhm.
Even Melee, I don't know the last time I, like, really watched, like, a Mango stream like that, but I'm, like,
Mhm.
watching a lot of Summit. There's some
Yep.
there's something about, like, stuff being on the line that adds a lot more to it for me, I think.
I agree.
Also, like, narratives are, like, really cool, and, like,
Yes.
everyone's good at spinning good narratives.
Narratives and production to me, it always seems
Production
really,
too.
really cool. I don't even remotely understand how when a big event for a community is going on, independent streams are happening for the same game. It blows my mind when a major is happening for Smash, right? Like Summit is happening.
Yeah.
How anyone else is streaming and pulling like any amount of viewers blows my mind, because
Yeah.
those events, so well produced, so well organized in a lot of cases, at least. I won't speak for every single one, but a lot of organization goes into it. And then the event itself is sick. The tournament is
Yeah.
sick. The matches are sick. Maybe like a day 1 or day 2, sure. But like as soon as top 8's going, right?
When was the last time there was a tournament that had all, like, really good players that you're like, "Oh, that was a flub," or, like, not a good one? The only thing I can think of in recent memory is just that grand finals at Genesis, I think, where didn't Mango get, like, absolutely destroyed by Armada in, like, 3-0, like, the most pathetic set you've ever
Oh, was
seen?
that Genesis
I
4
I think
or
maybe
5? I
later
think.
than that? It might have been 5. But again, I don't think, wow, Genesis was a very poor tournament because of that. I just remember
Right.
that grand finals was kind of meh. But that still, I wasn't like, "Oh, that wasn't a good event," kinda thing. Events
Right.
are always so good.
Genesis 5 was the Plup Club.
Oh, okay.
Genesis 4, however, Armada won that. Um, and the
There's one
bracket.
it was just like Bengo had, like, run out of gas, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like, "Oh, I, like, didn't need to watch that grand finals." But
Yeah, it
like
was
that,
3-0. 3-0 grand finals.
again, it was the one time in all of, like, Melee majors that I've watched that I could think of a moment in, like, a top 8 that was like, "Oh." But it wasn't like, "Oh, it was run poorly," or anything like that.
Right. Um, God,
What
that's
about
actually a
you?
really
Like,
hard question. That's hard to think of something that I think was a tournament that was just kinda ran
the
shittily.
the only one, and we talked about this when we talked about commentary, was that Spring Series Rocket League thing
Yeah.
with the weird format and then Landon Donovan having no idea what was going on. That is
Yeah.
actually the only one that I can think of that I was like, "Wow, this flopped."
Yeah. I feel like I can't really think. Oh, no, you know what I can think of? The Valorant LAN with online. The
Uh,
Valorant online LAN. That's the only thing that I can think of that flopped. A lot of tournaments have
well,
been doing really well.
that didn't even make it all the way through because 'cause people got COVID.
There you go. Only
A
more
lot of
res
people got COVID at Worlds too. That was, like, a problem. Yeah,
just
that was
further emphasis. I don't know if you could have just heard that. There's just a siren going.
I heard it this time, not the first
Nah,
time. Oh, boy.
the fucking car accidents happen outside here all the time. But yeah, I mean, I feel like tournaments have been doing really, really well in terms of just kind of making sure production's a bit more on point, making sure that, at least the gameplay's there. I know scheduling can suck,
Mhm.
but things like incompetency behind a commentary for top eights and top 16s seems to be way, way less. Storylines are being followed. Players are making it out or competing at the very least, especially given COVID. And I don't know. I guess where things go from here, I just hope to see it kind of stay that way, where safety and health is put in a forefront. And, we continue to have those good narratives. If there's one thing I want to close us out with, unless you have anything you want to add, what I was going to say is, and this is impromptu. I know this wasn't on our rundown, but I just thought about this. If you could name someone that you would consider an unknown streamer or someone that's like a bit more on that lower echelon, like not a partnered streamer that more people should know about, who would you say? And if you need a minute to like look into it, I don't blame you. Um, but who would you think?
Um, you go first. Me.
No. I mean, if I were to try and think of anyone right now, I mean, this might be a little bit based, a little bias, a little here and there, but it's gonna be our boy Young Wild Fuego. I mean, the dude's a grinder. He pushes his ass super fucking hard in like any game that he's putting the time to. He's always been a homie to me. He's always been a homie to people that are homies with him. I I think he deserves a lot more recognition than he has right now. And I don't know. I would love to see him accomplishing a lot bigger things. And I think having a stream that allows him to build more off of that would be a great first step. So I would I would say our boy Fuego
He's got some he's also got some, like, very good content that, like, I
flies
feel
a little
like
under the radar.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, he had, like, this, like, Radiant Explains little
Hmm.
series
He did. I remember that.
that was, like it was, like, super digestible,
Hmm.
super explained, where someone like me who's, like, bad silver player
Hmm.
can understand what was happening and, like, could take something out to make me a better player,
Absolutely.
and, like, that stuff is, like seeing that kinda stuff is, like, super cool.
I agree.
I was, like, scrolling through my follows,
Yeah.
trying to see, um, I don't know. I have
Okay.
I have biases, but
I
I
mean,
think
clearly mine was a bias too, but
yeah, I mean, I'll shout him out. I'll shout out 8VA
yeah,
again. He's
that's a good one.
friend of the show, but just
Friend of the show.
so just I don't know. I mean, and you could be someone finding this like whoever they watch. But just like he's been like getting PBs and like he like broke a big milestone in
You
Wii
broke the
Music
18-minute, right?
recently. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And like seeing those accomplishments and just seeing all the excitement of that. And then to he did that and he's like, all right, I stopped working on that game for now. I've got that goal. I'm back to doing Crash Team Racing and watching
Yep.
this. And then he's like, hey, and I mean, and again, it's one of those things that like I I never had that much like I can't say that I cared about Wii Music when I first started seeing him stream it. And like now I do. Or like Crash Team Racing, I now at this point famously hate because Ripperoo's a little hell spawn. But like I'll watch his streams. I'll conveniently go to the bathroom after one of his races about 9 minutes into the run, and then I come back like 5 minutes later, and then I continue watching.
So convenient.
So convenient. I'll like say it too. I'll be like, "Oh, hey." He's like,
Gotta
"It
go to
happened
the bathroom.
yesterday." I was like, "I gotta go to the." No, I was like, "I gotta go walk my cat or something."
gotta go gotta go water my cat. Be right back.
And he's like, "That was convenient. You did the last lap of this race. You said that." I was like, "Yeah, duty calls." But just like, it's
Oh
just
god.
like also he did. I think I talked about this when he was here. He did like a speed run bingo
Yeah.
with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a crash thing, and that was, like, the coolest content I'd, like, been in. I was, like, so that was a time where I was like, I had to fully engage in the stream so I could, like, participate in the bingo.
I love that. I think
Like,
that's
that kind
something
of
I wanna
moment
do
is so
one day.
good.
I wanna do that someday where, like, I find a very RNG heavy game and just make a bingo card out of it and just, like, play it. I
I
think that
bet you could do,
would
like,
be
a
fun.
net play bingo. I know Golden Guardians had a video about, like, net play bingo. I was in that video. Did I tell you that? I was in a Golden Guardians video?
No, you didn't tell me
I
that.
was in a Golden Guardians video. They had a net play bingo, and they had to each go around and, like, do different things on the board, and one of
Yeah,
them was to get your opponent to taunt you, and I queued up with the Zane.
and you taunted him?
No.
Oh, he
He
taunted
illed
you?
me. He taunted
Uh,
me, trying to get me to taunt back, and I was like, "This is a very good player. I'm going to try to kill him." And then he's like, "No, he's not a memer," and then he quit
nice.
out.
He just fucking quit out?
Because he was trying to go for the taunt. He's like, "I'm not getting it with this dude. I gotta go on."
Friend of the
So
show,
you
Zane, becoming
there's
an enemy of the show.
there's one of them, and it says DrewNG. People like reached out to me. They're like, "Hey, you're in this Golden Guardians video." I was
That's
like, "No."
so funny. That's amazing. Imma find that, and that's gonna be in the
They have
description of
good
this.
content. Actually, that's a shout out for
Golden Guardians?
Golden Guardians Melee Twitter has some very good content.
Okay.
There's some like ideas that I've like had because a while ago I was like, "There's no good Melee content like on YouTube" for a while.
Mhm.
It was
Right.
just sort of like some of like turned down for also like little documentary things, and that
Right.
was like it. And now there's a lot more in Golden Guardians, like they've done like a bingo, they do those Melee Jeopardies. They
Yep.
have like a Melee sounds guessing game, like iconic moments, and you'll get like pictures of the characters, and you have to know what tournament it was from.
Yep.
Good stuff in there.
Yeah. No, they do their shit, and they know what they're doing. I just hope to see it continue and not become like another Last Stock Legends or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good closer outer. Shout outs to all the names that we fucking dropped today. I feel like we just kept name dropping everything.
And shout out to SPIF.
And biggest shout outs to sponsor the episode and sponsor the show now. I guess we'll just kind of
They're a
phrase
friend
it that way.
they're a friend of the show.
They're a bit more than a friend of the show, you know. We got a little bit of something nice going on where
Yeah.
just don't forget Baker's Dozen. Use that code at checkout. Get 10% off your fucking sexy order and post photos. Hell, if you use our code, post some photos of it. We got a Discord that if you join the Patreon, post some bangers in some of the outfits that you get, or post them on Twitter. I don't give a shit. Share them around. Let them know who sent you because they're gonna want to know. They're going to want to know. Spiff.space, baby. You don't even have to do that's another fun part. If I can shout out anything about them, you just go to the interwebs, the www, and you just type in spiff.space and it'll get you to the website, baby. All that easy. And of course, always got to make sure that you buy the stuff, use the coupon code. As I said, Drew, what is it?
Baker's dozen.
Baker's Dozen, not the Baker's Dozen. Baker's Dozen, baby. Follow him on Twitter at SPIF Space as well. No dot for that one, just SPIF Space, SPIF, SPACE. Again, website SPIF, SPIF dot SPACE. Definitely make sure you do that, and then also follow us or what? Yeah, I think it's follow us on Spotify. I think that's how that works. You
Yeah,
follow
you can follow
podcasts.
Spotify.
Yeah, so follow us on Spotify. Give us some listen. The audio listeners, we love you as well. The visuals, we love you as well. At YouTube on ours here, or mine, I guess. But we sharing all the love here. And then Patreon.com/Baker's Dozen. I think that's all I've got to shell for this one here.
I think
I
got
think,
it.
I think we got it. I think we're good. So tune in next week. Gonna have another fun, full flavored episode coming at you. And then we're gonna only be one donut away, baby. One donut away from that dozen.
Baker's Dozen.
One more. One season of Baker's Dozens coming to a close. But thank you guys again so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I need a hotkey for this.